Right, here I am at the junction of the Brodick Pier and the main road, and looking this way back into Brodick and Goat Fell, and the co-op just over there. The lovely Douglas Hotel Gardens are in there, and Sally and I are going up the Douglas Hotel driveway. Okay, so here's Sally, and she's going the wrong way. I'll just steer her the right way because she's waiting to see which way we're going. There we go. Come on, dog. You come this way. Yeah. We're just walking alongside this wee river here. Nice, isn't it? It was raining last night. It's been dry for a long time. You wouldn't know that bridge is there right at the main road, would you, unless you came to the other side of it. And Sally's waiting to see what we're doing. Well, that's pretty, isn't it? Anyway, so I'm on the grass at the side of the road because I've got Sally with me, so I'm just keeping her off the Douglas Hotel Drive. Here she comes. Isn't that lovely? I might just focus in a wee bit there. Look at these plants here. Okay, well Sally's waiting for me again, so I better start moving. Okay. That used to be a bridge over to our side of that river, and you could go right up the other side, but it's been closed off. I mean, in recent years, I'm talking about probably closed off 20 years ago. But I remember when I worked in the council in the 80s, there were several bridges across up this path I'm going to go to, and they've all been closed off one by one. So there's no way over that river now. You just go up this side, but it's very nice anyway. Here comes Sally. So this is where we go for the Secret Waterfall walk, okay? We're going to take this track up to these houses. We're not going to the Douglas Hotel, okay? We're going to the left of the Douglas Hotel. I'm whistling Sally, I don't know if she can hear me anyway. That house has been fenced off. Somebody just bought it actually, and right after they bought it, a massive tree fell on it. There was a massive tree on the other side of that house. It fell on the roof, and I mean just about demolished the house. This bit here was the bit that was largely unscathed, and hopefully you can see the roof is pretty badly damaged even at that. But that roof was completely collapsed. It was like the whole tree just came down and took out that whole chunk of house. It was a massive tree as well. I mean, they've patched it up. I mean, it's such a nice old house as well. There's not many houses you see with the wee slits, you know, like a castle. I don't even know what they did. Was it a barn or something? Was that just for air to get in? Don't know. Anyway, okay. Sandy's waiting again. Right, come on, Sal. What a view, eh? Right, that's finished with that view anyway. We're going up here. So, we're going past this row of stone houses. That one says Heather Lodge on it. Past that driveway, This is the old Arran Banner offices, where Arran Banner office used to be. And there's a stained glass window here that actually says Arran Banner on it. So we're going past that. And we're going up the side. This is a right of way. This path, it's unmarked. And this is where our path begins. Sally doesn't really like walking on the stones. That's the only thing. But these ones aren't very sharp. What I might do, I might just carry her anyway. Come on, we'll get you, Sally. She's used to that. We'll get a dog's eye view here. Because we're quite close to the main road just now, so you can hear quite a lot of traffic noise, but the path moves up out the way a wee bit. We're really just across the road from the main road just now. Okay. Right, there we go. Now we're on to a kind of just a natural path, no stones. So I'll put Sally back down there. There we go. Right. Yeah, it's okay, Sal. What do you want me to lead? I can still talk to the dog, even though she can't hear me. The river sounds a bit noisier today. That's a massive kind of wall there that actually collapsed recently, and it had to do a lot of work to replace it, but it's been done quite nicely. Here we are. Going up the path. And there are several waterfalls up here. There's one just coming into view through there. There's a lot of water in it. I could hear the rain lashing down last night, so it's amazing. I did wonder if it would be, busy here or not, because there wasn't, it's been really hardly raining at all for the last week at least. But then it was raining last night, so how long does it take to fill up? Well, here's your answer. That water's quite brown. Lovely. There's a little waterfall down there as well, actually. See if we can get a better view from here. Yeah, maybe here. That's not bad, is it? Zoom in on that a wee bit. There we go. Nice. Right, there's the wee dog. Right there, okay, that's fine. I'm going the other direction. Where's Sally? Why are you going the other direction? What happened there? Did you lose me? No, we're going that way. Come on. What happened? You went a bit wonky there just for a second, didn't you? Oh, okay. There's something interesting down there, is that what it was? It's nice to see, we were just down in Brodick Front there, and came across another small dog, was it Lazarapso? And she really liked him, so she was just bouncing about like a spring lamb. That's the way to describe it. You know, when they spring about and all legs are like boinging up and down like they're on the springs. That's what she was doing. Just going round and round in circles. I didn't get the camera out fast enough, sadly, to show you, but it's nice to see when she's such an old dog, she still gets springs in her legs. Something to aspire to, I think. Right. There we go. And if I get hungry, I can always have some black puddings. There's quite a lot of them up here. Cool. here. Lots of them. Food for the hungry. Right, that path takes you up to a field and then across to the council, the ex-council houses, up at Brodick, and the new estate that's up there, I don't know what it's called. Oh, there's a lot of tents here. I wonder what this is. I think there's people living here. Oh. That's a surprise. Well, see what we do now. Well, I can't really show you the Secret Waterfall today because there's a massive tent in the way. Trying to someone's house. What we'll do, we'll lift you up, Sal. And we'll go round this way and we'll have a look at it. That's the first. Haven't seen that before. There we go. Okay. Well, I'm not. No, I can't call it a Secret Waterfall today, obviously, seeing that we've got a massive tent there. We've even got a chimney and everything. So that was a bit of a surprise. Nice spot for it, I suppose. Pretty big. Anyway, here we go. I'll just show you. Down here. Sally's waiting for me because she doesn't like this bit. She doesn't like the water being too busy. Secret Waterfall. Beautiful. Cam bit on the top as well with all the stuff floating around on top. Little bubbles and reflections and things. Beautiful. Anyway, so not so quiet today, so we'll just disappear off, I think, Sally, and we'll come back another time. The tent won't be there forever. I don't even really mind them being here, as long as they don't leave any mess. So, but what I'll do, Sally, is dog of intensity. We'll lift you up again, and we'll take you up this way, I think, because that might be the best to get around the tent. Yeah. Okay. There we go. I could continue up that path, but do you know what? I think we'll just go back down. Yeah, Sally's going that way anyway. That'll do. Because we went up the last time. That's okay, Sal. That's the right direction. I always wanted to talk about one thing on this walk, which I'll just do just now, briefly. I've never envied I don't envy. As an adult, I don't envy anybody. There's nothing I want that I can't really get. You know, I don't crave luxury and you know, items and riches and things. I wouldn't really want it. I've heard of people winning the lottery and things and being very miserable at the end of it, and I don't think it's the secret to happiness. So for me, as long as you can pay your bills, and that's within my control, I'm not really wanting anything else much. You know, like at the moment, I kind of fancy a motorbike, for example. The only kind of item I can think of. I haven't bought it. I don't know if I fancy it enough. And also, I found that items that tend to hold you back because you need to give them time and attention and stuff. So they take your freedom away a lot. Anyway, that said, I don't think everybody sees it the same way. And I noticed when the Queen died there, quite a lot of people, you know, they're talking about how poor other people are and things, and comparing with the riches that she's got. I don't envy her riches, or anybody else, in fact. So, in fact, I try very hard to be pleased for people who succeed and are wealthy, rather than, as a lot of people do, you know, almost like watch the mighty fall, you know, and take pleasure in it, you know. It doesn't give me any pleasure, so, because I don't envy them. It's the same with the Queen. I just feel sorry for her and she's died, and for her family, you know. And but more than that, I did find myself, I'm not even impressed by celebrity. So like celebrities come on the boat and things, and I'm not really bothered about them. And I've seen the Queen twice. I was invited to the Armadale when she opened the Armadale Pavilion. Was that 97? I can't remember. And I was right beside her throughout it, actually, you know, within just a few feet. There was one person between me and her from memory for most of it, watching what was going on in the playing field. And I wasn't bothered, you know, and it's the same when I went to her garden party in Edinburgh about 3 years ago. Both of these things were because of the job I did, working in the co-op and working at Calmac. And which is nice, you know, but it wasn't really, you know, such a massive deal. But because I'm not overawed by that kind of thing. But I did find myself being upset that she died, and again, it kind of surprised me a little bit. I suppose it shouldn't have, because it's the third time it's happened, and the first time it was for somebody that I didn't know. That is, you know. Being upset. And the first time was Muhammad Ali, and he was the greatest sportsman ever for me. You know, he was just a wonderful person and somebody to aspire to be. His character, his determination, everything. He was a winner. He was just so fast. He was witty. He was just a remarkable man, and he was actually the BBC Sports Personality of the Century. So the greatest sportsman of the modern era of sport, the greatest sportsman, full stop. And that's who he is for me. And I was upset when he died. And then the same thing happened when Prince Philip died, to be honest. Such a long service, and the thing for me was the loyalty that he had towards not just the Queen, but, you know, his partner. It was unwavering. They could have been together for 1,000 years and he would have been the same. And then the Queen as well. And, you know, having done the job all of these years, and she said even before she became Queen that she would give a lifetime of service, and that's exactly what she did. She was in the job for 70 years, and not many people do a job for 70 years, a job, until they're 96. 70, yeah. So yeah, that's what she was, 96, yeah. Anyway, get my numbers right. So, I found myself being upset, really, to be honest, watching the funeral 3 days ago, and but I didn't know her. And some people would say, well, that's, you know, just really quite pathetic, if you know what I mean. It's a bit, you know, weak-minded. for me, there are two reasons to grieve somebody that you don't know. And it's a real emotion because I felt it 3 times that I can recall that I've told you. And that is if the person was a remarkable person that you would aspire to be like them. And also if that person was remarkable for a long time. So in effect, you lose who you would like to be and also a bit of yourself because the person's been in your life for so long. So I think it is a big deal. I did feel grief, and that's how I'll try to explain it. The Queen's been around for all of my life. She was doing that job before I was even born, and I'm not young. And she would have carried on doing it until she died. That's exactly what happened. She did it until she died. She never stopped. And here I am at the age of 57, wondering if I should be retiring or not, or working part-time. Got 3 sisters, and all of them have pretty much finished what they're doing. And my dad finished working at 58, and I feel I'd be lazy retiring in my 50s if I could possibly do it. She was in her 90s. She was 40 years older than me. She'd done another 40 years work. Just astonishing, and so there you have it. So I'm going to miss her, and I'd like to mark it a little bit by just saying that. I respect anybody else's opinion on that, of course, whether you like her or not, or even our royalists. I appreciate that some of the royal family haven't got the same attributes that the Queen had, but they've got a blemished record. Hers is just a lifetime. In fact, I was reading in 1943, she was serving, I think it was in the army, as a mechanic. Even in the Second World War, 10 years before she became the Queen. And you're going back such a long time. So anyway, there you go. That's what I wanted to say about that. It's a big deal. The one thing that makes it in a way slightly easier is the fact that there is Prince Charles, or King Charles, who's also been around for my whole life, and also steadfast and reliable and diplomatic and everything else, and done a lot of good things. So he stepped straight into the shoes, and I think it would seem a lot more of an event if there hadn't been somebody like him to do that. So in a way we've actually been saved from the turmoil of complete change. If he wasn't there, what would we have then? A big change, a new person, So yeah, there you go. So I did find it a big deal. And here we go, I'm back at the road again. So just to show you, that's where we went, up that driveway, straight towards that house with the tree that fell on it, and turned left. And that took us to the 10th waterfall is what I'm going to call it now, on the campsite. Anyway, I'll go back in a couple of weeks to see what's happened. And there we go. Right, Sally, yes, okay, there we go. We'll cross the road and then we'll get away back onto the green where it's nice and interesting. Come on. The ferry just gone out there. There we go, Sal. Okay. Yes, and I was surprised that I missed Prince Philip, in fact, to be honest, I found out more about him, sadly, after he died than I knew when he was alive, which is off the way. So I really shouldn't have been surprised if it had been, I suppose. But I was. There we go. Coastal way. Map of Arran. Keeping an eye on Sally, yep, she's alright. Hopefully you can see the whole of Arran from there. North end on the left. And I live right in there, behind that hill. So the wind goes over, lands in the sea, and I'm sheltered in there. In fact, you can see, look, there's the water. Some water in there, representing the sea. What's up with Sally? Welcome to Brodick. People who have lived here a long time might remember when you got off the boat, there used to be a map of Arran, and you press buttons on it and it would light up somewhere on the map. Do you remember? You have to go back. You have to go back at least 40 years, I think, for that map. And I remember getting off the boat. This would be in the... It'd be like in 1980 or somewhere around there, somewhere about there. And maybe 79, 80, early 80s after that as well, for a few years, and they had that map. You just press these buttons and a village would light up, you know, and that was like quite highfalutin. It's an impressive map. Still remember it. Well, I haven't been here for a little while, been on holiday. It looks like the pier's completely gone. Nothing there. Just that big boat thing with the crane on it, and that's it. If that was gone, it'd just be water. Job done. Okay, well I think that'll do for me and Sally for today. Adios.